Hey guys, Trevor Bucheri here with Body and Soul Fitness, your rapid fat loss solution now when you've tried everything else, guaranteed. Here today to talk to you guys about one of the biggest issues that really holds people back from maximizing their fat loss, and that's actually range of motion. So when you have a restricted range of motion, you're basically not bringing your musculature through the entire range of motion, which basically means that you're not activating the entire muscle as one unit. When you're not doing that, you're basically not getting as much bang for your buck as you can out of every single repetition. Because if you're going through a full range of motion, example, in a squat, now I'm utilizing the entire leg industry here, okay? So basically all the glutes, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, all right? But if I'm only doing a partial range of motion, I'm really only utilizing part of that, okay? So I'm basically not getting as much as I can out of the exercise. So a lot of times we're restricted in our movements because of restrictions in our body, all right? And one area that really tends to be an issue with people is the lower back. So if you have any tight low back issues, this is for you, and this is basically how we can actually work on this. So a lot of times people are dealing with the lumbar area, basically from the top of the pelvic girdle, okay, up to about the mid back. So this area here on both sides. And here's a great way that you can actually do self-myofascial release, which is basically massage, because all we have back there is restrictions. Okay, and when we have different restrictions and knots, more or less think about the musculature as similar to a rubber band. All right, so if you tie a rubber band into several knots and you try to lengthen it to its absolute original length, it's just not going to happen. Okay, if you take the knots out, then we get the full length, we get the full range of motion, and there's that lack of pull feeling that we of course desire in our low back. So here's how you get that. Best way to do it through the self-massage, number one, put the shoulders square against a surface, against the wall. Walk your feet out. We're just gonna raise our hips up. You're gonna put the ball in your low spine where you're feeling it and pop your hips against the wall. So in other words, you always want the shoulders to be braced the entire time here. And then what we're doing with the actual movement, once we find a spot, so okay, there's a spot that's tight right there, I know, on my low back. All I'm gonna be doing is basically working on an area about the size of a silver dollar. So in other words, I'm not moving side to side big time here because I'm losing the actual force element of the actual spot of the ball. So I'm really concentrating on a small area so I can keep the force strong in that particular area. All I'm doing is side to side movements, up and down, and small circles. Okay, so here we go. So I've got small side to side, I'm really staying in that confines. You can see I'm moving very slightly. A lot of times if you actually get on a knot that you feel like, wow, that's the spot, just let it sink into it. Don't even do any movements, just let it sink in. So I've got left to right, I've got small up and downs, and I've got small circles. The main reason you're doing this is because a knot can go side to side, it can go up and down, it can go diagonal, it can go whatever direction. So this basically makes sure that we're hitting the entire gamut to make sure we're actually getting out that knot there. Now let's say I have a little bit of an area that's higher than I am right now, so rather than slide down on it, I'm actually going to raise my hips up, place the ball in that area, pop it back down, and continue on. All right, let's also say I need a little more pressure here. I need more pressure. I'm not getting deep enough with the ball. So I lift my hips up again, walk my feet out a little bit further, and then pop it down. Now doing that, basically all I'm doing is pushing my hips towards, and I'm basically pushing them in to the point where if you can lift up your shoulders, it's very uncomfortable. So that's kind of what I'm doing, is I'm digging in, kind of lifting my shoulders up, but they're not coming off the base, and you'll feel a complete difference in the force element that you're able to actually push on that particular area. So again, you may actually go through 5 or 6 different areas on each side. Maybe you put the ball here, 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 and there, okay? And then the other side, here, there, and there. So you're basically going through, say, 8 bouts of this, making sure that you're actually really fully covering this. Now, as far as how often should you do this? Roughly about 2 to 3 times per day, all right, while you're actually in treatment. This is definitely more of a treatment type element, all right? So if you're gonna be going to work out, you wanna do it before you work out, after your workout as well. So it's, in other words, you wanna start your workout when you're loose, you wanna end your workout and walk away loose. You don't wanna end and walk away tight. And then you would do it one other time during the day. So if you can get 3 of these per day, after each time you do it, all right, so after your workout, say you wanna ice it. After your other one that you do, say you do another treatment at 5 p.m., then you wanna treat it again, and then you wanna ice it again, okay? So this is gonna be huge for loosening up restrictions, making sure our body is free-flowing and freeing us from low back pain. Guys, Trevor Bucheri here with Body and Soul Fitness. Have an awesome, inspired day.